Our goal in Henry County Schools is to ensure that students learn more in one of our classrooms than they would anywhere else. I'm Melissa Morse, and I'm proud to lead teaching, learning, and student performance in Henry County. And it's my passion to work tirelessly with our Board of Education and Superintendent to make that a reality for every student in our district. If you're like I was as a parent, you may sometimes find yourself wondering, what is it that my child is supposed to be learning in school? So much has changed in such a short period of time that we wanted to make sure that we could help you feel more informed of what your students are learning in their classes each day and what we're focusing on as your community school. In Henry County, we are so lucky to have a Board of Education that always keeps student learning as the core business of the organization. They use their voice and leadership through policy to set expectations for a foundation for learning in every classroom. In Policy BAB that outlines the Henry's Plan of Action, they set the expectations for this foundation. You can see here that first and foremost, the board makes very clear that what we teach in Henry can be found in the Henry Teaching and Learning Standards. The Henry Teaching and Learning Standards reflect the standards required by the state of Georgia to be the content that teachers are expected to teach and students to learn. You can find all of the standards we teach for each grade and course on the Henry County website. Moving forward, our strategic plan calls on us to not only teach those state standards, but to add additional expectations based on input from you, our community. For example, right now, we're working in partnership with many of our community's financial leaders to enhance the Henry Teaching and Learning Standards with financial literacy standards to ensure that our students are informed and skilled consumers, savers, and investors. A student's experience in a Henry County classroom learning these standards should be one that's balanced. Balanced between critical foundational skills like phonics, vocabulary, and computation, along with higher-level thinking and problem-solving. This kind of balance will ensure that a student has a really strong foundation, but is also able to apply the concepts they're learning to authentic tasks, strong skills in writing, and deep critical thinking. Balance doesn't, however, just stop at the kinds of instructional experiences a student has. We also believe that a student should always learn using high-quality, standards-aligned tools that are balanced with the use of print, digital, and other hands-on resources. We know how powerful it is when a student picks up a book and reads, conducts an experiment in the lab, writes an engaging story, plays an instrument, uses a welding simulator, so many things, or even just stacks colored blocks into sets in kindergarten to show they understand how to group and count objects. We are really fortunate to have a community-supported technology tool for each student to ensure they can appropriately navigate digital content and digital productivity with an emphasis on balance with the kind of learning that's often low-tech but is highly effective. And lastly, in Henry County, we're committed to ensuring that when a student is struggling to learn, we provide real-time support and intervention to determine what's causing the struggle and to find the right supports a student needs to get back on track. You know, we only have 13 years together with your student from kindergarten to graduation, and we want to ensure that in those 13 years, when your student struggles, that we can accelerate their learning back to where they need to be in order to take on the challenges of new learning. You can learn more about the systems in place to do this by checking out the Ensuring Student Learning Report found on our website or by checking with your student's principal for specific support they can provide at the school. Henry's Plan of Action shows the commitment to the core business of student learning we have here in Henry. We want to be very clear for our students, you, their families, and our community that we know what we're teaching, if your students learning, and what we're going to do when they struggle to learn. Never hesitate to reach out to your student's teacher or principal to ask questions about the approach to learning at their school, and we welcome you to contact the superintendent for questions about what your student learns in Henry County classrooms. It is our mission to empower all students with exceptional opportunities and access that lead to their success in a global society. And we look forward to working with you as our community as we envision this success in the future for our students.